Channel 5 News.
Hello, this is Elizabeth Vitti, and you're watching Channel 5 News. Today, our top reporters have traveled back in time to the 1700s for the best quality news around. Now, on to Nancy Drew.
Thanks, Beth. I'm Thorpel, and I was sent back to the 1700s to investigate guilds. Now, the exact definition of a guild is the organization of artisanal production into trade-based associations, each of which received a monopoly over trade and the right to train apprentices and hire workers. So what it's saying is there would only be one specific guild for one specific item. So if you were shopping for a ladder, only one guild would make that. That means they could set their own prices. The population of guilds dramatically increased in the 17 and 1800s, specifically under Louis XIV, who very much encouraged it. Women were often excluded, so it was only men working as masters or apprentices, unless they were in fabrics, in which women would be called spinners. Back to you, Beth.
Thank you so much, Nancy Drew, for your special report. Now we have Tom, the construction worker.
Thanks, Beth. I'm Tom, and I'm here to report to you about working conditions. Alright, so there are two different types of workers. You had the lower class, which were mainly peasants, and then you had the higher class. So the lower class were mostly out in the fields, and they would do the harder labor because they were in poverty. So the masters of guilds would take advantage of that so they could pay less to get harder labor. Now, if you were working in if you were richer, you would have better conditions. So you'd be working inside of a house, probably doing textiles or something that wasn't so manual. And because they didn't have machinery, it was all hard tools. And so sometimes you'd have to work outside in very harsh conditions.
Wait. Oh my gosh! I just got a report that there's been a massive thunderstorm. Are you okay, Tom? Are you okay, Tom?
Yes, Beth. No. I hear your concern, and Tom is okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can just see, Tom was just hit violently by a stream of water. Luckily, he will be okay, and as a nurse, I was able to diagnose him, and he's in the hospital. My name is Meredith Gray, and I'm a doctor, and I was sent here to talk about what happens in medical conditions. So, let's say, hypothetically, Tom did die. That means, assuming he had a wife and children, they would be left alone. Now, his wife would have to be the head of the household. She wouldn't be able to get a job in a guild, most likely, because they just weren't hired very often. So she'd either have to work in the fields doing very, very harsh labor and take care of her kids, or hopefully become a spinner. So she worked out in the field, she'd make very, very low wages, and then still have to help her children. So if she was sick for a few days, or she got hurt, she would bring in no money, and then her children would most likely starve or do something if she couldn't get that money. So she would most likely hope for a job as a spinner. Now, as a spinner, she would spin wool and make different items that wasn't very hard labor. And women and single women or widows were often chosen. And that's how the term spinster came about. It was a spinner. But they're called spinsters now, referring to women who are unmarried. Back to you, Beth.
Sorry for that. All of us here at Channel 5 News are glad that Tom's going to be okay. Okay, now back to real news. There has been reports of protests over unfair labor and wages. Now on to Winifred.
All right, thank you, Beth. All right, my name is Winifred, and I'm a peasants' right activist. Okay, what that means is I'm fighting for their rights. And the first grievance we have is inequality between men and women, even at the peasant level. Okay, so we have men and women doing the same job, same quality, and yet women are getting paid so much less. And we need to fix that, because what if women are raising families on themselves because they are a widow? All right, we can't have that. All right, second, we have the distrust between the workers and the employers, and we cannot have that to have a successful business or guild, okay? We have employers claiming that they are drunk or stealing stuff, and then we have the employees claiming lack of pay or unrightful and extra hours, okay? And we cannot have that, all right? Back to you, Beth.
Thank you from everyone here at Channel 5 News for tuning in today. Now we send it to Viddy Sant at MTV for some hot tracks. We'll talk later. Yo, it's Viddy Sant here at MTV, coming at you live with the hottest new tracks of the week. Today, we have the #1 song of the week, Shelby and Viddy. Keep it cool and enjoy.
Cottage industry, the industrial revolution. You know it's textile workers. That's the end of feudalism. Europe.
What?
Rural industry. Europe.
What?
Rural industry. Most important part were the guilds. That's where all the big orders were filled. Europe.
What?
Rural industry. Europe.
What?
Rural industry. Dang a word.